Welcome back to another video. Last 2 weeks we've been doing synergy guides for Ana and Baptiste mostly, but in the comments you guys have actually been asking for these videos a lot. You've been wanting me to do one for every single support, so I'm gonna try to pump this all out until I go back to college, which will be shortly. But yeah, today we are gonna do Moira, and I took out the F tier because I feel like D tier only puts 2 characters in there. It's just not quite worth it when there's an F tier. But yeah, let's get right into it, and let's try to make this video a little bit shorter so it's easier to digest. And yeah, let's get right into it. So our first support is Ana. I feel as though Ana probably synergizes the worst out of all the supports with Moira. It's not completely useless, but it's pretty darn close. The thing with Moira is that she wants to play extremely fast, and she doesn't really want to worry about anything else. And that's typically how our team works with her. And because of that, we're going to be seeing actually a lot of D and C tiers, but the S tiers are like extremely strong when they are within meta, especially within like 6-man dive, quad tank when it was that back in the day, like Reaper Doom and that kind of stuff. That being said, honestly, Mercy and Brig, I'm gonna have to put these characters in D tier. There's just nothing good about these characters with a Moira. These characters, like Brig especially, is probably like the worst character to pick with a Moira, because Brig's entire identity and as a character is to really keep her flex support alive, aka the Ana, the Baptiste, the Zenyatta. Brig pretty much serves no purpose at this point when we're looking at this. And I mean, Mercy you could maybe argue is a C tier because it allows Moira just to do the healing, she does the damage. But the thing is that Moira directly synergizes with Lucio, and that's about it. There's really nothing else that goes well with her kit. I would say that maybe the synergy between Mercy you could say is a bottom C tier, so it's a little bit better. It's not crazy good either. Same thing now. Okay, well, let's see Ashe here. I mean, the thing with Ashe is that she wants to take really wide angles, and again, there's not really a whole lot for her to synergize with a Moira. Considering Moira wants to stay with her team as much as possible, Ashe wants to make sure that she's taking angles, she's looking for big dynamites. Not a lot of synergy going on right there, and you're gonna see that for a lot of this list. Baptiste, Baptiste, I think you could argue is a bottom C tier, I guess. Baptiste does do a lot of damage, it's just not anything crazy. Immortality field is always nice, but I mean, these characters don't really synergize together whatsoever. It's just it's not awful. It's almost like Ana, I think, actually probably takes the spot for Bap, because I mean, at least you can nano the Cole. At least that is something synergistic between them. But even then, that's like a bottom C tier pick. It's not good whatsoever. But yeah, let's keep going here. Bastion. Honestly, comparatively to a lot of these other characters, Bastion's kind of middle of the pack. He stands still, and he likes the healing. I think it's bottom B tier. It's not good, but it's decent. It's a lot better than all these other synergies that you're going to be seeing with Moira, and I'm probably just going to leave it at that. Ball, however, I think Ball is actually one of the best Moira synergies, only because the thing is that Ball wants to just get in, get out, and do his own thing. Moira allows him to do that and not have to worry about what's going on in the backline because of how great her survivability is. I think characters that just kind of want to do their own thing, or characters that rely on a steady amount of healing to engage, those are the characters that are going to be getting the most out of Moira. A lot of Moira, you pick her either because she's hard meta or because she's easy to survive against the dive. And that really is what's going to define the synergy, considering her kit isn't very much utility based. It's a lot of just healing and damage, and that's about it. But Junkrat, while I don't think their kits directly synergize together very well, I think Junkrat's a top C tier, because literally compared to all of these other characters, it's just not inspirational whatsoever, and Junkrat is just looking a lot better, to be quite honest. Roadhog. Another one of those characters that I don't think it's bad to have a Moira with a Roadhog. It's very decent, but it's like there's no direct synergy besides like the extra damage provided by his hook. I do think it's nice to have a lot of healing on a hog so you don't have to breather as much and you can kind of soak up a lot more damage. But the thing is I don't think there is a whole... It's just middle of the pack. It's okay to run the character with hog. It's just there's no real like direct synergy there. But it's by far better than all these characters right here though. That's just how it is. Doomfist. I'm gonna put Doomfist top A tier, not quite S tier, only because if the Doomfist really wants to engage, there's not a whole lot that you can really help him. He kind of outspeeds your orbs and your range, but you can heal him before he does engage. If I see that there's a lack of overall S tier picks here, I'm definitely gonna be moving him up one tier. I might move Reaper with him as well, just a Reaper Doom, because those two characters do synergize very well with Moira. But besides that, it's kind of like, you know, nothing too crazy going on there with the synergies between Moira and yeah. But Diva S tier, 100%. Whether Moira is being played in a dive comp or being played in a brawl comp, the fact that Diva is allowed to push aggressively and not have to worry about Moira dying in the backline, and Moira gets to keep up with her with orbs, makes Diva probably the best synergistic pick with Moira in my humble opinion. It's a direct synergy because she's allowed to play quick because she doesn't have to worry about peeling for her supports, and the support directly helps her in being aggressive, and that's really what Diva is defined as a character right now, by the way that she is played. But that's all I'm gonna say for her. Echo, I'm kind of gonna I think I'm gonna put her in C tier. Only because you can tap her with heals before she engages, and that could be nice for 1v1s. Besides that, it's looking pretty bad. So because she's a flying character and there's really nothing you can do as a Moira. But I don't think it's quite D tier, personally. But Widowmaker, yeah, there's literally no point in playing a Moira with a Widowmaker. Like it is. I know I've been putting Widowmaker in D tier for a lot of the supports. It's just that Widowmaker doesn't need anything from supports, especially from Moira, who wants to be in their face, getting value on the front line. These characters are almost polar opposites in playstyle. If I see a Widowmaker on my team, I don't think I'm going to be playing the Moira. I just don't. That being said, though, let's go to Reaper, another S tier, almost directly synergizes with Moira. Reaper's kit is very basic and bare bones. He wants to be aggressive and get in their face. Moira allows him to do that, and he doesn't have to worry about Moira not being able to heal him because she's getting pressured in the backline. It's really simple here, guys. It's not rocket science. What is Moira great at? Survivability and overall just raw healing. Characters that benefit off of that and want to get aggressive and not have to worry, those are the characters that like Moira. It's really that simple. That being said, though, I think Genji honestly is a high A tier. I think that's where he's gonna stay. I don't think I'm gonna move him up, because I'm really thinking about moving the Doomfist up here. The thing with Genji is he wants to be aggressive with either healing going in with him on the engage or damage to allow him to get dash resets, which I think is really, really strong. Also tapping heals before he engages, very strong as well. It's just overall a very good interaction between the two characters that I think a lot of people sleep on. For good reason, because Genji really isn't that great of a hero. I mean, maybe after the new buffs that came out today, because it is the 6th of August, maybe that'll make it better. Maybe? I mean, I'm not sure. Just in metas past, Genji hasn't been super strong, so this synergy hasn't really come to light a whole lot. Next up, we do have Hanzo, which I think Hanzo's just generally better with synergizing just because of the way his kit is. It's a little bit more well-rounded than the Widowmaker is. Still, I just don't see the appeal of it. I just don't. You could tap heal him on the flank, but mostly the stuff that he's going to be challenging, like it's either he hits the shot or he doesn't. And he wins if he hits, he loses if he doesn't. I mean, maybe you could argue that damage orb can make it easier for him to find picks. It's not like a make or break if the rest of my team comp favors my pick of Moira, but it doesn't make me feel good when there's a Hans on my team. I'm actually going to move it above with Ashe. Above Ashe a little bit, actually, because he tends to play with the Brawl a lot more in Brawl compositions. But I don't think it's quite C tier. I don't think it is. Lucio, another S tier. Lucio can allow Moira to be aggressive without using Fade. That is really important so that her survivability stays up and running and being efficient with her uptime. Excuse me, efficient with her uptime. Haven't had a lot of water yet today, but it's again, a direct synergy. He wants to be aggressive. Now he doesn't need a peel for the Moira because she can peel for herself very well, and he can play extremely aggressively with the team, and the enemy team has to be able to do something before they brawl or just win at the brawl. And that's typically how this character works. Kree, for this matter, I'm going to put him top B tier. He doesn't quite synergize with Moira, but it does help him to be a brute and get in there and into the action and really do fan hammers and stuns in their face. It's not great because there are just better picks like the Reaper or Doom, but it's not bad either. It's not something that's going to stop you from playing the Moira here, and that's that. May I'm going to put top A tier. I'm actually going to put Doom S tier now just because of the way that these characters work together. May is also a close contender for going S tier, but the thing is that May wants to play differently based on the comp. I still think it's really helpful to have a Moira to push the May into the team and really get the freezing going on much quicker. Arisa, I know I'm going to get flack for this, but I don't think I want to put her S tier. I don't even think I want to put her A tier. I think Baptiste just does a better job at synergizing with the Arisa. I do think she's top B tier though. If Arisa is playing into a brawl, like a very fast brawl, and she wants to play brawly, I think Moira is good. I just think Bap's better in terms of the synergy nowadays, and it makes their synergy a little bit worse in terms of practicality. I just think Ryan and Winston are better, personally. So yeah, let's keep going here. Pharah, I'm gonna put it below the Echo because the reason why I'm actually gonna put it below the Mercy as well. It's definitely bottom of C tier. The thing with Pharah is that she's not as fast as Echo, so tapping her for the heals before she engages doesn't get as much value because she needs to take more time to actually engage, unless she's going to barrage. But honestly, I don't think Pharah. Honestly, Pharah might be a top D tier, honestly, at this point, because I just don't see the synergy. With Echo, you can at least engage after, but it's just, you know, nothing crazy. And let's keep going here. Reinhardt. Is it quite S tier, though? I don't know if it's S tier. I kind of want to wait and see with Winston what I say about that one. Sigma. I think Sigma can be kind of lumped with the Arisa here. I don't think it's crazy good, but it's not awful either. And in the right comp, it'll work out just fine. Soldier. I think another one of those characters that, I mean, it's okay, but Soldier wants to flank most of the time. So you're not really going to find a whole lot of value with the Moira, unless you're going to tap heal him on the engage. Certainly he can play well into a brawl, but the characters don't do well together. It is what it is. Sombra, another one of those characters that synergizes very, very well with a Moira in terms of EMP Cole, healing her on her engages, damage orb to finish off targets. She's one of my favorites with Moira. Honestly, I'm thinking S tier. I just don't know where. I think S tier. It's just like 6-man dive is pretty much the direct synergies for Moira, and Sombra just does very well at playing with a Moira. It's a different playstyle than that Doom Reaper, but all of these characters so far are very, very good with a Moira. It just depends on the situation here. Symmetra I've been kind of hating on a while for the synergies between characters, but the thing is while there is not a direct synergy that's super, super awesome, I think Symmetra deserves a good B tier pick here. If Symmetra wants to get into the enemy's face with her high level charge, she's going to want a Moira to back her up so that she can be very aggressive. And honestly, these characters, like, the thing is, the synergies between characters, it's not that intense. It's pretty simple. She wants to get in with high damage and needs the healing to do it. Moira provides that. All right, next one. Torb, I think, is another one of those characters that it's not fantastic, but it's not bad either. Torb Overload with a Moira Orb pushing on a flank, very strong. Something that definitely shouldn't be undervalued. It's nothing crazy, but it's nice. It's very nice to have as a Torb. I don't think it's quite A tier, but it's up there. It's definitely up there. And B tier is not a bad place to be on the Synergy tier list. Tracer, for that matter, while it does work really well with the 6-man dive, I think it's still just top C tier, if not bottom B tier. The thing with Tracer is that you can tap heal her before her engagement, but besides that, there isn't a whole lot really going on. Torb has more health. Sim wants to be more aggressive than that and play with the team. Tracer wants to be going on flanks and finding cheeky little angles to engage with. That being said, Winston, I'm going to have to put below D.Va in S tier, I really think. The thing is, Winston doesn't have to deal with counter diving in the backline. He can just hard engage now that the Moira is doing fine. And she doesn't have to get dealt with in terms of peeling. I think it's very, very strong because it alleviates the pressure from your team and allows you to just do whatever you want. And for that reason as well, I'm putting Reinhardt also in the S tier. Not as good as the dive tanks in my opinion. I think Moira plays much better in a fast dive nowadays than a fast brawl. But I think Ryan D.Va is still very strong with the Moira. And it allows the comp to function. In all honesty, it's the whole reason why Moira is better than Bap is because of survivability. And in fast comps, you cannot be worrying about your support dying in the backline. You can't. In slower comps, you can because you have the utility to deal with the oncoming or the incoming aggression. But with fast comps, you just want to have one idea, play fast, get into the enemy team, roll them, go next. And Ana and Bap just don't quite allow that to happen. Zarya, I would argue, is one of the not as good of a synergy in terms of Ryan D.Va. I still think it's up there, but I can't bring myself to put it above the double shield tanks. The thing is that if you're running a fast brawl, you're not going to be wanting to run the Zarya bubble. That being said, I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it's quite as good as D.Va as the off tank here, or the double shield combo, just because of how much more damage they're going to be taking. I still think it's decent, but it's not good. And last but certainly not least, Zenyatta. I'm going to put Zenyatta above Ana, but not much farther than that. Moira and Zen, I mean, I guess you could say Zen does a lot of damage and Moira does a lot of healing, but it's not a good synergy by any means. I think it's nice having the support ult, it's nice having the extra damage, but, you know, it's nothing crazy. But yeah, this is my tier list for today's video. This is the Moira tier list. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. Moira doesn't have a lot of well-rounded synergies with characters, but the synergies that she does have with comps, it's more of a macro understanding. The synergies that she has with very aggressive comps are very strong. Thus, it does define her as a character. Certainly people are like, well, I haven't been seeing Moira in a while. Well, you're gonna see her again, and that's just how the character works. She's either really good with the state of the game or just not good at all with the state of the game. She'll have her time again. She's been getting a lot of buffs. So if you are a Moira player here and you're waiting for Moira's time to shine on the channel, well, it'll be coming sometime soon, I'm sure. If Baptiste ever gets nerfed, Moira is the next runner-up. But yeah, if you have any questions, please let me know. Also, just thank you guys so much for watching. But until next time, I've got a peace out and Paz out. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.